Welcome to new Fighterdiet podcast. I'm here in Los Angeles with superstar Michele Dunphy. She's my Fighterdiet Recipe App chef and she helps me in the community for the FD8. And you need to be in it because we raise you up. If you never felt special or important, we're gonna make you feel like a superstar. All right, Michele, tell me, how did you find me and Fighterdiet?
I found you on Facebook. I was scrolling. You popped up. I was like, holy crap, she looks good. Sorry. I was like, wow, what a physique. So I followed your page. I listened to you about a year before I joined a challenge. I had already been exercising and eating well pretty much my whole life. And then I finally decided to join a challenge in 2017 was my first challenge. And I've been with you ever since.
Oh, one of my favorite things in life, in my work, is clients who are not just in it for like what I call one night stand. That's what I call people who just sign up to kind of have a dream body project. They want to work with me a little bit, like I'm something special. And then you think you're going to be able to be motivated forever. That's not true. Can you tell me, in the group of all women, they don't believe your age. How old are you and what do you think about, your age and this exercise and aging?
Oh, well, I will be 53 this fall. And aging is nonsense. It's a number. You always say nutrition and fitness is the fountain of youth.
Why do the women in the group, the work, why do they think that they can't gain muscle, can't lose fat because they're over 50, over 55, if they, whatever they
Because
put
they
there?
don't live it.
Oh.
They don't live it and they don't see it. A lot of people like to blame menopause. And all menopause is really is slowing down your metabolism. It doesn't inherently make you eat that cookie.
Yeah.
That's your choice. You have to rev up your metabolism, eat properly, and exercise. The more you exercise, the more your metabolism revs up to counteract what menopause does. So it's just, you just got to do it and live it and believe it, and you will see the results.
So Michele, you are one of those people who have extra special talents. That's what I call when you have been equipped in life with special extra challenges, and they make all things in fitness harder. But people who see you only see your body and they just think like, oh, everything's fun and easy because you look like you can train, there's nothing. But tell me about what you have to work on every day in your life.
Well, I was blessed with the spine of an 80-year-old at very young age. I'm fused. Almost my whole neck is fused. I have very advanced arthritis through my whole body. So working out hurts. Sitting hurts. Eating hurts. Every movement hurts.
And I have to tell you that because sometimes, so we work together over, we video train on Uscreen and we also have meetings on Google Meet. So we work from one coast to another to make this happen. And sometimes you have the worst headaches and you still have to work. Can you tell me how it is to have migraine and still have to show up for your fitness life and all that? How does it work to kind of just listen to your body and also not be discouraged? How do you manage?
When you live with chronic pain, you just have to work through it. Otherwise, you would do nothing. And I find, and this is pretty true all the time, when I have one of my headaches and I can only work out in the afternoon, and Pavel and I have been working together all morning and have one of my crazy headaches, and I'm like, oh.
He caused it, right?
Yeah, Pavel causes most of my headaches. And I know that if I just go on the elliptical, 20 minutes, steady state. I think it's just because it gets the blood flowing. And then I can feel the headache dissipating. They never completely disappear. I always have some form of headache. But the really bad ones that, I cry to you about sometimes, they dissipate with the exercise.
Yeah. Because it's an analgesic, natural, the exercise. It's almost like this. When we have, it's either the pain that we have that is going to be there, or it's the pain we choose. So if we choose the pain, the training and the putting the bodies through the hard work, that doesn't cause the suffering because we manage the pain, we overcome it.
And sometimes I can't, and you know that. You know my line to my husband when it's just so overwhelming, all I have to say is, I need to lay down. There are days that I just can't function. But I think because of my lifestyle and my activity, that it keeps my pain in check. and that I'm able to keep going even though it hurts to work out. But I don't think of the pain, because when I focus on the pain, then it becomes overwhelming.
Yeah.
So I don't think about it. I push it in the back of my mind. I can't do all exercises, but with your help, and Uscreen has been very helpful to be able to find alternatives. And bands have really helped me. I haven't been able to do heavy and hard like you since 2014.
Good. I'm so happy. I know it sounds so bad, weird, but it's like, for me, it's like I'm so happy about the way I train now. Like I want everyone on it. It's like, you can't help it. I'm sorry.
You know, when I first started working with you, it was like, Pauline, I can't.
1 second, one break.
I know I did something with the mic.
Rolling, yeah. Just don't.
I know. I forgot.
Just gonna turn you up a little bit so we see a little more of your face. Let you sit. No, stay.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
I forgot about that.
You're fired. So, there we go. Yeah.
Fired from my free podcast?
Yeah.
Did I ask?
No, I was telling you something. My turn. You be quiet. My turn. So I can't do all the exercises. You know, you're always asking, you know, can you do it what's written in the book?
Yeah.
I couldn't always do it what was written in the book. So when you came out with the Body by Pauline videos, that was fabulous for me. And I got the most results with that. And then I would contact you and I'm like, Pauline, I can't, because of my fusion, my hardware, we don't want it to break.
Watch the mic.
Oh yeah, sorry. I can't put weight on my shoulders and I can't squat heavy. And I'm like, Pauline, what do I do? I can't anything overhead. And I'm like, Pauline, what can I do? And you're always there. And now with the Uscreen, I don't have to bug you because you do it, because you have limitations.
Yes, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, well, I can do it that way. And I can do this because I'm watching you. And tempo, half the time I can't keep up with you.
That's why we paused.
Pause, let me catch up. Or, you know, it's crazy. But Uscreen has been fabulous because to me, lower body was always hard because we're taught to squat heavy. Yeah. We're taught to deadlift heavy.
Yeah.
All the heavy stuff that I felt I could no longer do. Yeah. You helped me source a leg press at home. I don't even use it anymore because the Uscreens, I feel, hit me better angles. The unilateral work. I just bought the balance pads like you have.
I love it. Oh, it's going to be so much fun. I love it.
That is hard.
I have to. Okay, just so here's the thing. This is how I feel too. I'm just going to get this. The whole group is going to, when we start the FD7 July, there's going to be a lot of FD8 July, 8 weeks, not 7. We need you a little more time. 8 weeks, and we're going to have mobility and stretching, big focus, because you need to get into the range where you're going to hit the target, the glutes. If you're not even there, it's like training biceps, but you're lifting for calves. It's not going to happen.
And that's what you said when I showed you my leg press machine and I showed you how far down I could go. You were like, you're not even in the right, like, that's doing nothing.
I know. It would be like go to Stockholm and you just put the train to Rio de Janeiro. It's not going to happen.
No.
So what I love about the training is that I didn't want to live my bodybuilding life as in this. I'm older, I can't do what I used to do. I'm gonna do less of what I used to do. I'm gonna do it to maintain. Because the maintain life sucks.
No.
It's boring. And you're
is.
also gonna break down more and more, and you're also gonna notice that it's not fun to do the same thing. You're gonna not want to do it. And that's what happened to me. I fell out of love with my obsession bodybuilding. And then I fell mad in love with it again because I made a whole new beyond bodybuilding. I took the science from how you can train from hypertrophy, Brad Schoenfield, who was also on this podcast years ago. And then I took it beyond his science to put it on my own science. And then people ask, how do you know it's going to work? I say, I don't. And then people are like, I'm like, what do you have for guarantee in life? I don't know. I can die any moment. That's all.
The other thing is 10 minutes. People are like,
10 minutes at a time.
10 minutes, what the hell? And it's true, right? I used to train twice a day, hours. The other day I did one of your push-ups for 10 minutes. I was like, oh my God, what did I sign up for?
You know?
And I'm like, I could do this. It's only 10 minutes. It's only 10 minutes.
Yes, exactly. We have to lie, you know? And that's the thing too. The people lie to themselves about diet all the time. Like, oh, I didn't eat that, but yes, you did because your fat cells know. And then, but if you lie like that in the gym, like lie 10 minutes, okay, and then maybe you want to do more, just lie and one more time. And what I love about this, when people say, I can't do this in 10 minutes, like, don't you worry, because I just took out all the rest time between the heavy sets, and now you can do 10 times 10 during my volume training without any rest, and you're going to see how that feels.
It's hard. It's hard as heck.
Burn, build and burn.
The other thing is
I have one more question for you.
all right, go.
You are not a big eater.
No.
Fighterdiet is a big volume. I'm the biggest massive eater in the whole world. Nobody can out-eat me in food volume in POBO style. Tell me how it is to be a small volume eater and how I can explain to you that the POBO is not about actual absolute volume, it's the sensation, the feeling. Let me explain that to me.
The first recipe I made in my first challenge, it was green beans. And I cooked, I measured, I cooked the amount of green beans. I think it was a pound. And I looked at it and I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to eat this. I am such a small volume eater, which has its benefits. I never struggled with my weight, but I was always under eating and not getting the gains in the gym, right?
Yeah.
Because we need to fuel. And I'll never forget that. And then the next day I made your heaven in a bowl with 100 grams and I was like, there's no way. So right from the get-go, I was defeated.
Yeah.
I can't do this diet. And it didn't take me long because I was always in the group and listening that not all vegetables have the same calories.
Yes.
Some you can eat 2 pounds worth and it's 100 calories. Others, like a potato, you eat one potato and it's
Like
100
300,
calories.
yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right? So I learned to choose the higher volumes. I learned to use protein shakes. I learned all those tricks. But when you came out with the term POBO, I was like, well, I don't do that either because your POBO is 1,600 grams of green beans. And that would feed,
Lightly.
that would feed my family for a week, okay? It feeds Pauline for a snack. And then I was...
That's why I can't marry anyone, because I would need a farmer with cabbage acres like thousands a day.
Right. So in my mind, I was like, well, I guess I don't POBO. And then, you know, I think a lot. I think a lot. And I'm lucky that I work with you so closely. You make me think. And I help in the group, so I think for others. And it hit me one day. I'm like, I POBO because I'm always overstuffing myself with vegetables. My vegetables are half my plate. Yours are a turkey platter.
That's why we don't even have the small bowls. I say, why do you go for the breakfast bowl, the lunch bowl? Just go for the salad bowl for a party of 10.
Yeah, but I'm not like that. But I still POBO for my level.
Yeah.
And even though I'm a small volume eater and I don't struggle with the pangs of hunger like some of these people do, when I get hungry, my level of hungry, it's so easy for me to go, oh, I can have one cookie and feel, but that's not good for my body. So I grab raw carrots because I do snack. I know you don't like snacking, but for small volume people, it's a good tactic to get in more vegetables if you're picking raw or any vegetables as your snack. So I snack on raw veggies all day long in between my size POBO meal.
I just say that this is so important that in my in my team and in my community, a variety of eating personalities, the way we handle when we want to eat, how we want to eat, what kind we want to eat, it's essential, because otherwise it becomes, I want to do Pauline style, but I can't do it, and then you feel defeated. I'm like, the problem isn't that you can't eat up when you want to lose weight. This is a luxury thing. It's a privilege that you have a way to eat for satisfaction, to not be hungry, and to lose fat and keep it off. Unheard of, because in diet culture, that's a bad selling trick, because it means you're gonna not come back. What are you gonna do then? You're not gonna give the dollar to diet culture because you know how to eat to be satisfied and also how to indulge in moderation? That's what we teach.
Well, so right before I started Fighterdiet, you asked me how I found you. I'd had a medication change, and it caused a ton of water retention. I was puffy as all get out, and it made me ravenous constantly. So
that was weird. Yeah.
it was the weirdest thing because I was just eating and eating and eating, and I didn't know the strategies, right? I didn't know the Fighterdiet strategies. So between the water retention and just constantly eating, because I had this crazy appetite, I gained about 20 pounds right before starting. Most of it was water weight. But had I known, because I know some of these, even some of the mentors have these huge appetites. And when you're struggling with hunger all the time, it's really hard. it's really hard because it's a terrible sensation. And when you teach us how to fill up on the low calorie veggies when you're a big volume eater, how to drink up your super greens and you're still getting, vegetables. I do 2 scoops every day.
I know you always justify it to make sure you are requiring that you're eating enough
I
vegetables.
get my minimum that way, and then everything else is bonus. And all those tactics we teach, and that it's okay to eat up.
Yeah.
You just have to know what to pick. And the more you know about food, which we teach in the groups, and how to look things up, the better choices you make to help whatever level of hunger you are.
Yeah.
And then we do have the baked goods, and we do have the chocolate, and you're not restricted to only eating steamed broccoli and chicken every day. How boring is that, right? We have over 500 recipes in the recipe app.
And that is one thing that both me and Michele understand both, and why we're trying. People can be really stubborn, not understanding why we want you to have 500 recipes, because this is what you all say. I know what I need to eat with Fighterdiet. I've been doing the challenge in the past. I know I have my specials. I don't need this. And then you kind of want to have that. That's great. Now, here's the multi-million-dollar question. If you know how to eat and you love what you ate, why didn't you stick to it? Because you too fall out of love with what you love, just like every other human on the walking this planet. So, getting lean is a luxury problem. That you have even an interest to think about how you look and have health means you are in a pretty good situation. So don't take that for granted. Be strong-minded and think that in order to get results, you have to play the game according to the rules before you break them. So when you come to me, no matter what you know about nutrition, how to do it, unless you have maintained it for years after year after year, without the up and down of weight loss, weight gain, I would say it's time to reset your mind, get rid of all the old, change, and learn and become the happy person you deserve to be. Eating big, because otherwise, why even live?
Well, I know you've heard this a million times, but I've heard it a million times too. Oh, I looked like you at one point.
Yes.
But I wasn't happy.
Yeah.
Well, what weren't you happy about? That you looked great, or that the fact it's because you were starving yourself?
Yeah.
Women and men in general, we've always been, especially if you're of older generation, like going through the 80s and 90s, starve yourself to get lean.
Yeah.
And we teach the opposite. And it takes a while to wrap your mind around that.
And also, here's another thing I want to say. One of the biggest things that is going to be a make it or break it when you sign up for my coaching and when you're in the community is that, one, you do not follow the herd mentality. You don't follow others who's like, oh man, I messed up, I couldn't keep it together, I didn't want to play a devil's advocate game, I didn't want to do the POBO, I had a cheat day, that's fine, I'm starting over. Because that's how you get fatter and fatter and never get out of it. We are teaching you responsibility about what you're eating, so you actually remember what you did the day before in alcohol or eating, whatever you have there, society or at home. You can get fat from anything you eat in private that you don't want to have ownership of. So what we teach you is ownership of what you do, your actions, because you become a sum of it. And if you want to succeed and not feel bad, and you want to be healthy and fit and strong and not live a double life where you just like, at home, I'm the enemy. Like, you don't want to go to bed with your enemy. You are the enemy. We teach you to pull that enemy out in the gym, fight it out there, and then become bliss. And here is peace, then the rest will be peace. But it has to start with education and want to grow and not stay the same. Don't live in the past, live now and be proud that you are whatever age you have there, because age is a victory in my book. I want to be old and racing prune, because what is the opposite? Death. Yeah, we're all going to end up there anyway. So before that, we're going to be strong together. So we build muscle.
2 things from what you said. The more knowledge you have, so you need to work at this, and you need to practice. The better choices you make, the better you feel about yourself for each. It's like a building block. Each day you make a good decision and a good choice, you feel good about yourself. And that's momentum, and you keep going. devil's advocate game. What is that?
Well, before I say devil's advocate game, I just want
Because
to.
you just mentioned
I
it.
know, but no, you got another one here, so this is bad. Because we need to have a series now, Paul. So now we know the podcast is going to be a series in the FD8 where we talk about these things and we talk about what's going on, and we have that as a weekly, really good highlight. Michele, what was it? I was going to say something, but I forgot, so I'm going to do the devil's advocate game instead. Okay. The devil's advocate games is where I just had enough of people saying that I cannot do Fighterdiet because I can't always meal prep, I can't eat the volume, so I cannot do this. That gave me the motivation to say, no, I got you covered. There is no excuse for you. So what I made here is to just show the calorie budget system. In order to lose fat, the most important thing is to stay within the calorie budget that induces that goal. And no matter how much you want to be the number one special case that only you have this messed up body, can't lose fat, we know it's not true. You just believe your own story. So now when you're actually doing the calorie budget system consistently, you are increasing that recipe I call the bread making recipe. This is how you work to lose fat, get stronger, and be healthy. Think about how you make bread or a cookie or a bake. Oh, heaven in a bowl. No, let's say cookies, chip cookies. You have to first prepare it. You have to have the ingredients. So that is just you wanting to be interested in training at all. Then when you first put it together, and then you have to make it rise. Sometimes bread if it's sourdough, it has to be 2 times. You have to let it rise and sit again. Then you have to put it into the oven. Then you have to wait, and then it has to be the right temperature. It's going to rise and rise and so on. What happens if you take it out or you even ate the cake batter before? There's not going to be a bread that is delivered in the end. You're never going to eat the bread. So in order to get the bread and eat it and enjoy it, you have to have patience and not just quit when you feel a little, defeated. Because all those mini quit you don't think matters is exactly why you never reach a goal. So just remember, those little things add up. If you never thought about that, did you really get fat in one day? You didn't. It was those little things, Hershey's Kiss there, a little French fry there. Those things are what make you fat. I teach you to trust food and nutrition and real food and get rid of eating all holy cow, glorified junk fitness food, because that is what you do not increase your metabolism with. You want healthy, real food, vegetables, protein, and fiber, all the food that makes you to have to chew and gives you some gas. That's how you make your body a fat burning machine. Yeah, what does it take? You have to accept there's a price to pay. You're gonna have a little full belly. You're not gonna be hungry all day. How are you gonna stay on diet then? So the devil's advocate game is I teach you how to go to McDonald's, have your junk food in the calorie budget. The other meals might be Fighterdiet, but you go back to Fighterdiet fully when you can. But that is how you do it. When you're out in the regular life where all is junk, you can still fit it in there. But you gotta know what happens with hunger. With low volume junk food, your hunger is gonna be up, big. That's why you POBO.
Let's do one last question.
Yeah,
to
no,
Michele.
too many questions now. I don't want to talk more. Okay, we're going to summarize. Okay. Thank you so much for watching our discussion. We're going to come back many times because we pick up the conversation, what the women are talking about in the group, and then we make it into fun. Because when you have fun, time flies, and that's what we do. We make you forget about the pain. We make you forget about that you're alone. We keep you happy.
Michele, any last words?
Do you want to know why I stay in the group?
Yes. Why do you stay in the group?
It's been 6 years, Pauline.
6 years is like one of my longest relationships now. So
Right.
good. The longer you stay, the more powerful you become. Michele is epitome of that.
I stay. I know how to do the diet. I know how to work out. I stay because we're like a sisterhood.
Yeah.
And now we have Build and Burn, and we have men in there too. And that's a great community also. But besides you and my virtual friends in Fighterdiet, I don't have anyone that lives this lifestyle. I have people that diet on occasion, work out on occasion. But in the group, we're friends. We support each other. We all want similar things, and it's okay to be who we are and what we want in the group without people like, well, why do you want to look like that?
Yeah.
Why won't you just eat this pizza and wings? And they don't understand, whereas our community gets it.
There's a culture.
It's a culture.
Yeah.
It's a culture that we all want to be a part of, and it keeps you going.
We have standards, we have things we live by, that is not about a cult as in someone has to do that, but we have an open, transparent, honest community where my goal and my mission is to have it where you go in and you can be completely like naked, like almost like this. Go in there like, I don't know at all anything about that, teach me. And having a willingness to understand that is not bad. And I don't want you to hold on and bring in all the gym culture, gym life, all the depressive, discouraging, body shaming thing from fitness life and fitness shaming, which I've been exposed to all my career. I don't want that to be mine. I want you to change the way you see your body, and that is my daily work, to make every woman change the way you look at yourself. And this is like how I want to just think about it. If nobody put anything in your mind about how you should feel, how you should look, what you should do as a woman, and you just think, what makes me happy? What do I want to do? And you follow that voice, everything changes. But you have to believe in yourself and have the courage to do this and be brave. And here's another thing. I'm a loner and I'm just extrovert, introvert in my work. I have so much love for people because I know how hard it is, and I made it my mission to come and be the supporter for people who need someone like me. Because I'm alone and I don't want to have fitness people around me. Like I didn't ever hung out with fitness people, because fitness people are the ones I've known, and I've been at the Ghost Gym Mecca, the culture system, right? That they're so angry. They hate their bodies growing older. They can't accept that you can't be old, young, and strong and unstoppable forever. And it becomes so bitter that it's like there's so much hate and anger that I didn't want to be part of it. I don't want to hear about the struggle on a diet, that I hate this training grind, when it's a privilege in my world. Like, you have a body that you can work, you have nutritious food, don't you dare complain to me. And I always had that kind of that thing, and that made me always an outsider. So I came to California to train like ghosts, to have the inspiration, but I was always on the outsider, looking in. And that is how I have this community too, because I have to be here to kind of see, okay, what is the worry now? And the big worry I have for women is that you believe that you should, pretty much, it's better to die than to grow old. And I want you to change completely, to think the older you get, the more victorious you are in your own mind. That's all I care about.
Yeah. And you help people fall in love with their body.
I love that.
Not just their diet, but their body and who they are.
Yeah. I love that. And it's not the body that is just perfect now.
No.
It's about loving your body today, so you do what I tell you have to do. The stretching, the mobility, the training, the nutrition. Your body needs you to be a better owner. So if I can't get to talk to you here, I go straight to your body and I say, yeah, I know your owner, it sucks that you cannot ever get lean because they're not even doing what they say to you that you're supposed to do. And your body's standing like, yeah, I know, like it's so unfair, because how am I gonna show her that I have what it takes? But I have to have a little bit more time than one day. I'm so stressed out. So I'm trying to kind of seduce your mind to get to your body. So it's a partnership. So join this challenge and I'll be your coach and she will be in the community.